Hey guys, Chris here again for Project Nerf, and today we're going to do a pretty special video. It's been requested a couple of times, and hopefully we can do a good job for you here. We're going to do a step-by-step build guide on kind of a super long shot. We're looking at doing a brass breech, uh, a pump grip, shotgun style. Probably do some cosmetic modifications on this as well, and really make it look tactical and pretty cool. We're definitely going to upgrade the spring. We're going to improve our seal here in the plunger, and see how all that goes. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, let's take a look here. We've got a Nerf Longshot. This was pretty much the first purpose-built sniper rifle that Hasbro ever did, and it was a lot of fun. These days, however, it's a little bit lackluster, so it's going to need some improvements. Let's take a look at some of what we're planning on doing here. First, we're going to remove the fold-out bipod, get rid of all of this, get rid of part of the plastic in here, and put in a pump action, which is really going to help us out because the slide rails, one on either side of the blaster, are going to work the bolt sled evenly, which is going to save us a lot of tension there and make it easier to prime. We're going to increase the spring, improve all of our seals, look at doing a brass breech, and we may even put the block in the back of the stock here to hold that out permanently. So let's get it apart and get to it. All right. As you can see, we've got our long shot opened up here, and it's pretty simple inside. Just a quick note, a couple of things. You'll want to pull the bolt rod out of it, and you can do that by popping one side or the other off. You can use a couple of screwdrivers and lever it like that, and it'll pop off of there, then pull the rod through. You have to take the buttstock apart as well. And on long shots, for whatever reason, it seems like all of them that I work on have been left outside. If they were kids' toys, they're really beat up. Most of the screws come out of it. Looking like this one. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but it's pretty rusty and dirty, and wasn't the easiest in the world to get out. And so anyway, let's take a look real quick. Okay, all of our locks here, we don't need those. There's a few of them we're going to get rid of. We've got a trigger lock, and then we've got a lock back here that's going to go. We're going to keep the priming indicator. A little hard to see, I know, but it's up here. But pretty simple operation, right? The rod comes through, you prime it back, pushes the spring out of the tube, catches right there. Right, prime back forward, shuts the breech, chambers the dart, pull the trigger, boom. So it's very, very simple, basic Springer operation for a long time. Pretty easy to work on. So when we do our brass mod here, we're going to be using 9/16 brass to replace this plastic right here where my finger was. Okay, and then we're going to use a piece of 17/32 to run the length of this, and it'll probably stick out the front just a little bit. And hopefully we can get a really nice seal on that, good and clean. So I'm going to start getting this apart a little more, and we'll get back with you. Okay, as you can see, we've got it all torn down and stripped apart. And I didn't do a step-by-step here. Longshot's one of the easiest, if not the easiest blasters to do a full teardown on. A lot of great videos out there if you need that step-by-step information. So I didn't do it here. Reason we've stripped it down like this, we have to do some shell modifications. Let's get rid of that for a minute. To make room for our pump grip, this has got to be cut down and then cut in to here, all the way up to this body line. And then, I don't know, I may do a flat top mod on this one, like we did on the Wraith with the full Picatinny rail, and kind of go like tactical shotgun. It's going to look pretty cool, I think. But not sure about that. Anyway, we're going to set the body aside real quick. And let's talk about some of the locks on the inside that we yanked out of here, some of the parts that we're not going to be putting back in it. Okay, these are the hubs for the fold down legs of the bipod. We don't need those. Just throw those aside. Just a couple of locks that we do not need, and then this big one that is around the breech. It would be, or would have been, in there and over top of that. To get it off, you can either cut it. I did not. I pulled my pin since I've got to take this apart and work on it anyway. So pull the pin, get rid of this. You don't need any of those locks, any locks at all. Okay, you can see we've pulled our pin and separated our plunger tube from the bolt sled. And I don't know how well you can see it. Everything on this blaster is just terribly, terribly dirty. So it definitely needs a DNA removal. I removed the screws from the back side of the plunger tube, and then I just stuck them back in there so I wouldn't lose them. Here's our plunger assembly. You can see that O-ring is beat and dry. Despite that, it's still making a pretty good seal. And I recognize these parts. This is a 8K spring back plate, and the catch was out of an Orange ModWorks solid kit. It's a nice kit. It's a nice little upgrade. Gets most long shots shooting right around 100. So anyway, we're going to start doing some work on this. So let's just set this plunger aside. What we're going to attempt to do here, this section right here at the black section, we're going to take our little tube cutter and just cut this enough to hopefully pop the glue will separate the two pieces of this breech. It'll make our life a little bit easier if we do it this way without having to cut all the way through it. So I'm going to give that a go. I'll get right back to you. As you can see here, I got my little tubing cutter and went right around this, and we pretty much popped all the glue. One little small section kind of broke and stayed on there. However, we got this separated nice and clean. This little piece is not going to make a difference. Okay, it'll go back together nice. Then you can slide this out of the tube to continue working on it. Remember, like I said, if it cracks like this little piece here, no big deal. It's going to get drilled and a piece of 9/16 brass put in here and fit it all along here anyway. So that one little crack isn't going to hurt anything. We've done a few things to the breech here. Let's take a look at these and see what they are here. Okay, first, as you can see, we've done this up and got it cut out to match the orange piece here. A lot of work at the tail here. Let's take a good look at that. Hopefully we can get the camera to focus well for you. You can see I've cut a groove in it for an O-ring to get a better seal on the inside of our plunger tube. So hopefully you can see that. Got that groove in there. Okay. In the back, to kill our dead space, I poured smooth cast 65D plastic. I also killed dead space inside the 9/16 brass tube itself. I used 17 30-seconds, then a piece of 1/2 inch, and then poured 65D plastic in that and drilled a hole in it. Now, I'm a mechanic, so I was thinking probably a funnel shape would be the best way to go, so it's wider at this end than it is at this end, and hopefully you can get a shot of that. A lot of work in here, but that's all done. We're just we're going to glue this on and we'll be good to go there. This is all rough. We'll finish it up after we epoxy it in. This into our 17 30-seconds barrel. And you can see we've got it notched out. It's been fitted and glued to the orange stock barrel. And the reason being is for a very specific purpose. I've got it set up so that it stops exactly where I wanted it to come through. As you can see on the breech here, it just peeps through. And that's exactly what we want. So this is all glued in place. And this would all fit together like so. And what we've done for what is going to be an exterior purpose, with our nozzle here, we've taken a piece of 3/4 PVC and turned down the end just a little bit. And we're going for a tactical shotgun kind of look anyway, so this is going to serve two purposes. It's going to, A, protect our exposed brass because we don't want that getting bent or messed up. And B, it's going to give it a big, wide, kind of scary shotgun look on the front end. So, long ways into doing this breech. Still a ways to go yet. We have to epoxy the last of that on here. The drilling is something that is just, it takes a long, long time. And I'm very pleased to be done with that. Take your time, go slow, but as you can see, that's in there. And if we fit this up, okay, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, okay, but I've got this breech closed. Okay, I'm going to block this in with my finger. But I'm blowing this in. We're going to see if we can get any air to come around. All right, guys, that seal is perfect. Okay, so I took my time, got everything lined up the way I want it to be. You can see no problems on the breech opening or closing. It feeds darts quite nicely, at least in testing. There's always a little refinement and honing that you have to do with these after the fact. But so anyway, guys, I'm gonna get to gluing the front end onto my breech here and reassembling everything, and we're going to get back to you. Okay, as you can see, we've done a few shell mods here. So let's take a look at some of those real quick. The rear stock we removed completely, and this is the tail stock of an Alpha Hawk that we've cut down, well, a lot, and integrated onto it. You can see we've cut this faux knob out from underneath the mag well. We've done all of our cutting here for our pump action, and then we've cut the top to be a flat top from this point forward. So looks a little rough. Give me just a second here. I'll get right back to you. I'm going to kind of slap it together in a rough form so you guys can get a better idea where we're going with this thing. Okay. Hopefully you can begin to get a rough idea where we're going here. You can see our cuts up at the front were made for our worker slide mechanism, and we made a little faux barrel to stick out the end of the muzzle. And then let me see if I can get this turned up. We take a good look at our flat top mod there. So we're going for a very kind of tactical shotgun look with her, and I think we're just about there. Wanted to show you guys all this stuff before we got into painting. Okay. Sorry I didn't bring you guys back in for the final reassembly of our long shot here, but we had a couple of technical issues in testing, and just want to run over those with you real quick. We ultimately went up to a 16 kg spring on this because the breech sealed and is feeding beautifully, and we were kind of shooting for the fences here. However, we ran into one little issue. That would be the stock bolt sled cannot in any way, shape, or form handle a 16K spring. So it's now like a week and a half later. I ordered an artifact metal bolt sled to put in this, and it's working great. It shoots hard as can be, and we're going to show you the final product here. Here we are. This is our tactical shotgun long shot. It's awesome. This thing is a beast. With the worker pump kit, as you can see, just blends very nicely here. Our flat top modification, our full length Picatinny rail, our little barrel extension we put on here, our integrated Alpha Hawk stock really makes it look kind of cool and shotgun-esque. And then we did a Doomlands mag for it here. We just painted up the bottom. That really kind of gives it a nice tactical assault style look. So we're going to throw this thing on the Chrono. Get right back to you. All right. We're going to go ahead and Chrono test our long shot here. Hopefully we get a few good reads. Hopefully it doesn't put any holes in the wall. We ultimately went up to a 16K spring. It's got a metal bolt sled in it now. and is shooting incredibly hard. It's shooting through cardboard boxes and stuff, so hopefully we can get a few readings here. Here we go. 258. Duplicate 258. 276. 183. 259. 260. 265. 271. 261. 260. 267. And 270. So let's take a good look at that. You should be able to see those numbers easily on camera. Our high, 276. Our low, we had the one flyer at 183. Don't think it's going to make a huge difference here. Our average, 257 feet per second over 12 darts. Yeah, guys, this thing is an absolute beast. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. We worked really hard to make this long shot something very special. As you could see in the Chrono, it shoots incredibly hard. It averaged 257 feet per second over 12. We had a single flyer at 183, and that's because it actually blew the head off of a brand new Zombie Strike Elite Dart, which came out at 183. Everything else, the numbers are very easy to see on the video, 250 plus. This thing is just a killer. There's a couple of notes that I'd like to say about it in closing. It does not seem to like any alternate darts, AccuStrikes, or the E-kind waffle tips. Both tend to jam up in the barrel for whatever reason. I assume that the head of those darts is a little bit larger. I haven't measured them. Two, with the 16K spring, the prime weight of it is just killer heavy. It shoots great, but I'm not so certain that it's really even war practical being that heavy a spring. And I know I'm about to get some recourse from that. Some guys are going to go, oh man, I put a 100K spring in my long shot, or I used a car shock absorber or something like that. But really and truly, I could see getting physically tired very quickly using a blaster like this. But ultimately, we're very pleased with it. For what little downfalls it has, I think ultimately the cosmetic appeal and the power that it shoots with are great. It's definitely a cool blaster. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Guys, remember to check us out on our website, projectnerfva.com. We've got a couple of great articles on there, galleries of some of our work. You can always get a hold of us there if you have any questions or concerns or requests for new videos or modifications. There are always updates about any giveaways that we may be doing. We got another one coming up here in the near future, so definitely check us out there. Guys, till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying, have a blast.